This just might be me looking way too deep into social situations because when I'm in them, I have no clue what my place is meant to be and who I'm meant to be with and what clique I'm supposed to associate myself with. But I always sit there wherever I'm at a party, a gathering, whatever it may be, so long as there are people and peers around. I always sit there and see that there's a pattern to it. The way it's working is a system, it's almost clockwork. There's these ingrown, accepted sort of niches that run on top and with each other, and they allow all the others around them. You have the different groups that maybe sometimes interact, maybe don't interact at all, but still allow the others to be there. There's this sort of interval clocking between people jumping from group to group, and there's the associations which allow more people to meet more people, which are like something like a bridge between, and it's like a machine, the social being. Its workings really are something insane and hard to understand because it's so versatile and volatile. The social situation can change from one thing to another like that, but whenever those big shifts happen, it's almost entirely predictable because the behaviours within a social situation are so noticeable and so obvious. You can tell when a group of people are going to ascend into agitation or are going to get angry, or if one's going to fight someone, one's going to burst into tears. You can observe that from 5 motions before. And it's only in situations like this where the human is interacting with the human on the basis of interaction that you're able to observe this. It's like the human watching is as impactful to the human being as the human experience, because you get that wider view. You're not in one of the groups, you're stepped back looking at every group going around and round and round and working within their groups and with the other groups to create this function that is society's acquaintance. Basically, it is friendship, it is association, it is platonic love. Basically, it's concordia. You can watch that run through the streams of people, and you can see it very briefly. If you're watching a group of people interact, you can observe their actions, and patterns really do show from person to person, from group to group. It's so much easier than you think to clock on to the fact that these behaviours are dedicated to emotion. These behaviours are signalling something, that you can tell from what someone's doing that something is about to happen. You can sit there for 5 minutes out of the party, whatever, far in a corner, and you can watch whoever's at there doing whatever they're doing, and the knowledge you can gain on that person's archetype and how they are just from that brief moment of observation of their interactions with other people are so jam-packed with things that are vital to know when you're around that person, even if it's a person who may be known to be very fake and their interactions are going to be forced or going to be malignant or whatever. They're not going to be an accurate representation of the brainwaves, of the emotions that person has towards who they're talking to. You can tell that if you step further enough back and you look at this person, you can tell they're being fake if you are looking for the right thing. And people can't do this when they're in the group themselves or they're in a group going to another group. It has to be done from an outsider's perspective, because you can't understand societal human as a societal human. There's just too much of a clashing. There's a blinding between. It's like a drug that completely numbs you, that you can't get how it's meant to be when you're within it, because it's just overwhelming you with this stimuli bombardment that basically you will never know the system within the system. It's only when you step back and observe and take in other people doing the same thing that every person does that you get some semblance of answer. That's how you find out how people work.